It's after the New Year's, so why am I talking about New Year's resolutions this late? Because it's never too late. A New Year's resolution is a commitment that an individual selects to make a change, maybe a project. I have to fix my not running rental car, or a change in my own behavior, such as losing some weight or reforming some habits. Mark Twain said this about New Year's: that now is the accepted time to make your regular annual good resolutions. Next week, you could begin paving hell to them as usual. To do new resolutions, we need resolve. Luckily, one definition of resolutions is challenging opportunities. John Agates said that we have to make New Year's resolutions to make our life better. Most resolutions involve some kind of lifestyle change that's generally interpreted as good. And if we think about this, then we want to think about not only what resolutions we're going to make, but when we're going to make those. New Year's Eve is the time that we always sort of look back on the past and forward to the future. It's like Janus, the mythical god and king of early Rome. He had two faces. He could look backward to the past or forward to the future. It's a time to reflect on changes we want or need to make in our lives and resolve to do that. Many authors say we ought to have a New Year's resolution week rather than a resolution day. My personal feeling is we ought to have a resolution month, and maybe we can pick when that's going to be. Another quote: every tomorrow has two handles. We can take hold of it with a handle of anxiety or a handle of faith. Henry Ward Beecher. Some people don't make resolutions because they think they can't keep them, or that they'll go away after a few weeks, so they've already given in. It's a stark irony that the calendar rolls around just at the time of the year when it's the most difficult for people to arouse themselves to even wash the dishes, much less make life-saving or life-changing U-turns. So we need to think long-term. I'm going to suggest some ways in which we can do this. But as I said before, also when. But before I make some suggestions for changes, let's look at some fun facts about resolutions in the United States. About 40 to 50% of Americans make one or more resolutions around New Year's. Most popular resolutions involve promises of weight loss, exercise, and quitting smoking. Also common are resolutions dealing with better money management or debt resolution. So what's the success rate for New Year's resolutions? Well, by this time, way this late in the year, it's still about 95%. Past the first week, 75 or 3 out of 4 people are still keeping their resolutions. Past 2 weeks, still about 71%. So again, 7 out of 10. After a month, it's down to 64%, but that's still 6 out of 10 people. After 6 months, drops to 46%, less than half, but that's still almost half the people keeping that resolution. About 67% of people make more than one resolution, and I'll give you some ideas why that's bad in just a moment. So what are the most popular resolutions? Well, the following 13, that's a baker's dozen. 1, exercise more. 2, eat healthier. How about a few trips to the salad bar instead of that sandwich? 3, spend more time with family and friends. Even through the pandemic, over 50% of us last year said that we want to spend more time with family and friends. 4, lose weight. 60% of America is overweight or obese, and so that might be a very good reason why losing weight is number 4. 5, live more economically. 6, Spend less time on social media. Now, it's interesting because with the pandemic, all of us have been learning how to use social media in ways that we thought we never would. By the same token, I'm still upset because I had to give up my quill tip pen and my inkwell. 7, improve your performance on the job or reduce stress on the job. 8, find or refine your soulmate or renew marriage relationships. Romance is alive and well. Look at that special someone. Look for that one. If you already have found that special someone, plan on spending special time to renew your marriage or long-term relationship. 9, quit smoking. 10, reduce drinking. 11, get organized. Okay? I told you this once before. I'm going to tell you again. I am not going to make that resolution. That one does not work for me at all. 12, learn a new skill or hobby. Educate yourself. Whether you take a course or read a book, you find education to be one of the easiest and most motivating New Year's resolutions to make. Given our lifestyle, it's no wonder that enjoy life more and get things out of it is good. There's a whole variety of lifelong learning that you can do. Join the local Y for recreational training for all ages. Most colleges and universities offer online and adult education programs. Or if art's your thing, how about the World War II Museum, the New Orleans Museum of Art, or the many small museums scattered in the New Orleans and up and down the Gulf Coast. Number 13, help others. A popular non-selfish New Year resolution, volunteer in many forms. Help out your neighbor with something. Spend time working in a library, monitor a child. Volunteer for a nonprofit. I can be glad to give you at least one name, the Akula Foundation. Anonymous quote, your Merry Christmas may depend on what others do for you, but your Happy New Year depends on what you do for other people. What about resolutions for children? Well, the 4 most popular are, I'll clean up my room, toys, I'll brush my teeth, I'll wash my hands, I'll be nice to other kids by being friendly. I think those are all good, whether you're a child or an adult. Some resolutions are ongoing ones. Keeping up with our email, exercising every day. Turn these into habits if you can. Focus exclusively on turning that goal into a habit of doing it. Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Another quote, the object of a new year is not that we should have a new year. It is that we should have a new soul. So how do we go about doing this? Be smart. That's S-M-A-R-T. An approach given to me by a friend, written on an envelope in a coffee house. Each letter stands for a principle. S, be specific. Be specific in your resolution. Not saying I'm going to lose weight, but set a goal. I'm going to lose 5 pounds. M is for measurable. That's 5 pounds. I can hop on the scale and see if I make it or not. A is for obtainable. I may lose 5 pounds in a month. I'm not going to lose 50. R is be realistic. There's nothing more that I would love to do but go on a 30-day safari in Africa. I may, realistically, be able to go for a long weekend to San Diego Zoo Safari to see things. T, timely. Don't put off losing that 5 pounds for some future day. Set a time lock. Another thing that you can do is consider making resolutions at a different time of the year. What about Orthodox or the old New Year, the Julian calendar? That's January 14th. So you've got a few days before you have to make those. If you want to preserve the idea of a new start, you could go for the Chinese New Year, which in 2023 falls on January 22nd. By the way, it's the year of the rabbit. What about Ash Wednesday, right after Mardi Gras, February 22nd? Does that sound like a good day? It's a time of year when many people give up something, and most traditional resolutions we make have to do with making sacrifices. So do it then. Go for astrological start of spring, a time of renewal. That way you can put it off until March 30th. Or what about celebrating the birth of the nation on July 4th and on July 5th? Go for a new beginning. The point here is that this is not a one-day resolution. There are numerous reasons why we don't keep New Year's resolution. Perhaps one of the most important, to use a highly technical psychological term, we mess up and forget to do something. However, if we view our New Year's resolution, perhaps we should take a page from Alcoholics Anonymous and realize that when we don't keep that resolution, it's just a slip, not the end of the journey for that resolution. And we may be on our way to having a better success. The other thing is, don't make more than one resolution. Or if you make more than one resolution, pick one that's the most important for you, and just work on that. Tell other people, share with other people what your resolution is. Keep track, even write it down in a log, or make sure you tell somebody at least once a day how you're doing on whatever that resolution is. It will help you move along. Oprah Winfrey said, "Cheers to a new year and another chance for us to get it right." From the Akula Foundation, our wish for all of you is, may the absolute best day that you had in 2022 be the worst day that you have in 2023. Thank you.